for our children today are individuals who mortgage the rights of their people for their personal short-term benefits, who show off their newfound wealth in the midst of poverty, and who take pride in their ability to deceive their followers into surrendering themselves to blind faith and perpetual indentured servitude.
Gamawa is situated in the northern part of Katagum Emirate of Bauchi State. Gamawa was created in 1976 and comprises the two districts of Gamawa and Udugo and is divided into 18 wards. The people of Gamawa have been privileged to produce many notable Nigerians. It is to the home of Senator Yusuf Tuggar of the Second Republic that Yusuf Maitama Tuggar will be born on the 12th day of March 1967.
I come from a political background. My father was in politics.
Tuggar was a good politician. He started from the bottom and went to the top.
He joined politics, working with Sardauna.
Tuggar was the research officer for the MPC. I admired the way he was so frank, even with the premier.
So the home I grew up in was a hub of political activities, particularly during the 1977 Constituent Assembly, where you would have on the dining table the likes of Ibrahim Tahir, Suleiman Kumo.
And I see in young Maitama, not Tuggar, his father, but I see in him young Maitama Sule. I went into politics young too, or to parliament young. I was 24, 25 when I went to the House of Representatives and became a minister at the age of 29, 30, active in my constituency. And I have observed that young Maitama, the Honorable Maitama, is equally vocal, active, is committed and dedicated.
Tuggar is a young man I've enjoyed a tremendous, wonderful relationship. Working together within the House of Representatives since his election in 2007. He comes across as a brilliant, articulate young man who comes with huge experience that has been positive in legislative business in the House.
Honorable Yusuf Maitama Tuggar stands at the forefront of a new political renaissance and rebirth in Bauchi, whose antecedent is anchored on renewing the vision and passion of Nigeria's founding fathers to enthrone a politics of values and integrity.
If you look at Nigeria, what is called Nigeria today, a large part of it used to be the Sokoto Caliphate. And when you look at the values that created that empire, trust, modesty, that is modesty in our leaders, humility, accountability. These are values that are missing in today's politics.
It's not your constituents, your electorates that matter nowadays. It's how much you make, how much you have on hand, so that you can rig your way into any election.
When there's an opening for a position to be given to an individual, the first person a leader would think of is his younger brother or his son or his wife or his brother.
Those time of our days, people are very much interested in seeing that they have performed to satisfaction of their electorate. But now, I think the tide has changed.
There's no interaction between those governed and those governing.
I think this is the most important thing as far as I'm concerned, to maintain contact, so that the people that supposedly voted them know what they are doing, and they respect them in terms of going back physically from time to time, reporting to them, discussing with them, appreciating their local problems, and probably liaising with their local counterparts from state assemblies and local government councillors and chairmen across the parties.
Honorable Tuggar has since devised many creative ways to maintain regular visits, sustain dialogue and consultation, and also contact with those who elected him in districts and villages of Gamawa Federal Constituency.
A portion of what I learned from Yusuf Tuggar. It was he who was telling me that soon after election, a successful candidate should go around the constituency once again, not only to thank them, but to learn from them what are their needs and how he will fulfill his promises to them.
It is important that the constituents endeavor to keep a tab on their representatives to be sure that he's indeed doing those things that they expect him to do, that would elevate the quality of life of the constituents. Is he disposed to meeting with his people? How well is he able to influence a bit of national life to positively affect his people?
You know, it's simply assumed that the leaders know what is best for the people, and it ought not to be that way. It need not be that way. I've always been interested in social commentary. I used to write as an outsider, commenting on politics and politicians. At some point, I felt the time was ripe for me to actually partake directly.
When he came to tell me that he won't contest the elections into the House of Rep, he informed me. I told him that it's not easy.
That's how I ended up in the House of Representatives, representing Gamawa Federal Constituency.
He has understood his job very well, and even those of us who are 10 years, 6 years in the House, I can proudly say they will time need people like Honorable Tuggar to come and enlighten them on some of the issues of the regarding legislature.
His exemplary attitude in the House has earned him the membership of various frontline committees like the Petroleum Upstream Committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee, and the Committee on Agriculture. What is particularly worthy of note is that Honorable Yusuf Maitama Tuggar is the chairman of the very important House Committee on Public Procurement.
So for the House to actually trust a member of the opposition to chair the Committee on Public Procurement, you should realize that the person must be considered as someone of highest steadfastness and of course highest integrity, to look at how things are procured within the Nigerian system. And if you look at the capitals, the size of the capital budget of our nation, which is in the extent of 1.8 trillion in this year's proposal alone, you begin to see the enormity of the work that the House has placed on Honorable Yusuf Tuggar, and he's been doing it very well.
Presently, Honorable Tuggar is the chairman of the House Committee on Public Procurement, a committee that he has elevated his performance and output. That today public procurement has carved a niche for itself as one distinct realm of government that we can now understand better. Tuggar has made significant effort to bring the committee activities to the floor of the House, and today we best appreciate his contributions and convening of the committee in stabilizing the House.
Honorable Tuggar holds the belief that strict adherence to due process is a valuable resource which must be inserted and sustained into the fabric of political governance and the management of public funds in Nigeria. It is Tuggar's personal culture of being meticulous and prudent that he brings to bear in his capacity as chairman of the House Committee on Public Procurement, where he ensures due process and adherence to budgets in the award and execution of public contracts.
What I'm trying as much as possible to do is to show that I'm not simply here to improve my own life and those around me, but that I don't have to know you from Adam, and you can still, benefit from me, benefit from the position that I hold, because that is why I sought for your votes.
Gama people have made a very good choice.
A few months ago, I went to his village, his constituency, where he had some projects which he executed and which he commissioned. And what really interested me was his relationship with the people in that area.
The people of the constituency were there, and he demonstrated what efforts he had been making in terms of inputs to the locality. Because I appreciate what he has done is what I want members of the assemblies, both state and national, should do. Whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, let them maintain contact with their constituencies.
We need to take into consideration Nigeria's contemporary political history. And if you look at Nigeria's contemporary political history, what is the conflict? Second Republic and to a lesser extent, Third Republic has shown that if Nigeria's polity is allowed to evolve naturally without interruptions, we will end up with two political parties. So now we have a golden opportunity. We have a golden opportunity to implement strong treatments to the point by providing a clause that will fast-track Nigeria's political evolution and crafting in stone two political parties and transforming economic and ideological development of political parties.
The most interesting thing about my constituency is the people. You have, for instance, the Buddha, where you would see the Goberawa, they still have the tribal marks. You have Katsinawa, for instance. You have Fulani, Borno, people that they call that are called Larawa. For instance, you have towns like Garin Jambiri, where you have Christians there. So it's actually unique in that sense, in a small place, relatively small place, if you look at how big Nigeria is, to have people that are so diverse, so different. And yet, beyond that, their needs are more or less the same. They want potable water, they want hospitals, they want their kids to be educated, they want to be able to cultivate the land. And such basic things in the 21st century are lacking, I think, primarily due to misgovernance.
Even as a social critic who frequently wrote articles on the pages of newspapers before he became an honorable member of parliament, Maitama Tuggar has often emphasized in his write-ups and guest columns the only way we can collectively harness the rich diversity of Nigeria's people is through a style of governance that is open to dialogue and constructive engagement, and which enthrones the values of integrity, genuine compassion, and selfless service.
I have been hearing in the radio and seeing in the television his performance as a member representing Gamawa area. Yes, about scholarships, about provision of some utilities, to his own people.
But to me, the most impressive thing that I found out, that every quarter, which means every 3 months, he used to go around his constituency and meet his people, and discuss with them. To me, it's the best thing he has done.
We did a study of existing boreholes. Based on that, we went about fixing the boreholes, and you'd be surprised, how little it takes to actually fix some of these boreholes that had not been working for 15 years.
His father was an organizing secretary in the NPC in the First Republic, one of the most effective organizing secretaries in those days, very fearless, very stubborn, of course, but he had what I call principled stubbornness.
I've always been told from a very young age that when you occupy a position, especially an elective position, you're representing the entire constituency, whoever it was that voted for. If you're president, you're representing Nigeria. You're no longer representing PDP or AMPP or some other political party. You're representing everybody.
He used to say, if you know you are on the right path, stick to it, no matter whether the heavens shall fall. If you lose a friend, God will provide another. That was Tuggar, the father of Maitama. He was feared, he was loved, he was respected. During the Second Republic, he contested and became a senator. Tuggar was a man of his word, very honest indeed. And I am not surprised because of his background. He came from a learned family. Yes, I think his father was an alkali, a judge, a decent man, a dedicated and patriotic Nigerian. I am not therefore surprised that young Maitama, who incidentally was named after me, is a very promising legislator. He is a chip of the old block.
Well, Honorable Tuggar is an outstanding parliamentarian among all the parliamentarians we have in the House of Representatives, in fact in the National Assembly. He mixes freely with parliamentarians or his colleagues, irrespective of party divide, and so he was able to access so many projects and programs to the extent that today in the House of Representatives he is one out of all the members that is a chairman of a standing committee of the House of Representatives.
You may be of a right view as opposed to a leftist view in different political parties. I mean, you may find in ANP, for example, some members who are more progressive than even some in, for example, the Action Congress. You may even find in Action Congress some who are more conservative than those you may find in the PDP, for example, depending on what, on their own views. It could be a bit to the left, center, or the right, even in one political party. And it's up to the presiding officers or members who want to bring up issues who are to that nature, right or left, to lobby those in different political parties of that view to get things across. And we may not always agree, but we can always agree to disagree.
Honorable Tuggar is one man who is gifted with the act of unlocking the hook, easing off tensions. He's a great facilitator, a great communicator, a rallying point amongst significant members. He's a man who has a strong voice in and outside of the chamber that is respected. These qualities make him distinct and make him one of the unofficial leaders of the House.
He's the member that is representing his state in the constituency outreach committee. This is because he has shown interest in the constituency project, and that is why he has attracted a lot of constituency project in his own home constituency.
The most recent intervention is the agricultural sector, where again, collaborating with the Chinese firm, fortuitously I should say, knocked down prices for us, and they have these sort of mini tractors, and they have grinding machines. We were able to purchase a substantial number to help the people out.
He has provided education, health facilities, water supplies, and now he has provided agricultural equipment, grain processing machinery and equipments. These are productive equipments and facilities that can go a long way to improve the life of the people within his own community.
After that, we're focusing on providing school furniture, fixing up classrooms, and then using the MDG projects. We in the National Assembly are fortunate enough to be able to choose sites for these projects, so we decided to sort of match that with the needs of some of these communities. We created the Ali Abubakar Educational and Research Center.
So far now we have graduated at least 160 candidates in this Ali Abubakar Center, which they have come here and received the training. They understand the computer, they manipulate the computer, they have their certificate.
This is one of the shock treatment approaches that we decided to deploy, because you take the internet straight to a town like Udubo, you're transforming it, you're changing the lives of people, you're opening up a whole new vista for the youth.
Even if you look at the major ones in the national budget, like roads, I believe he has attracted one big project for the Gamawa people, or for the Bauchi state, I can say in general, because the road links between Gamawa and Pataskum.
The road project is the Pataskum Udubo Gamawa Gamayum Federal Highway, and it's a project that is very close to and dear to my heart, because it was actually started by my late father when he was a legislator as well. It's a project that is going to open up that entire area.
And that shows you how determined Honorable Tuggar is on anything that borders on his own people.
Being an agrarian society, it makes it easier for farmers to take their produce to the market.
Parliamentarian duties are collaborative and interactive responsibilities. The more you do it, the more you interact, the more you are able to access. The only thing is that you have to remain focused to know what you want. I wish all his colleagues and members are here to see the kind of accolade, the kind of acceptability, the kind of forays he has made within his local environment. And I think that's a reflection of what he is even at the national level.
I will continue to really back him, because I appreciate what he has done. Is what I want members of the assemblies, both state and national, should do. Whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, let them maintain contact with their constituencies. Let them continue educating them about what happens and what limitations they have.
Yusuf Maitama Tuggar is a young politician on track to securing his place in the lineage of Nigeria's political history through his commitment to politics of values.
For me, Tuggar is a man that has a date with the future. that has a date with history. In my assessment, is a veritable access to the people of Bauchi State and indeed Nigeria.
I would be exceedingly disappointed if the people of Bauchi State do not consider and make sure that Honorable Yusuf Tuggar is elevated in his political endeavor. I would be exceedingly surprised and disappointed because of the achievements that we've seen him done to his people, at the same time contribute to the national polity. I say contribute to the stability of the national politics, which is invaluable, absolutely invaluable.
Values are an expression of moral imperatives. In other words, they are the ideals of an individual, a group, a society, or culture. I consider redefining our core values to be my primary mission in politics.